Algebra 2 worksheet 36.4 review for this next concept quiz, which mainly is all going to be about the unit circle. This first video is going to be concept 26, where you have to label the unit circle. And I'm not going to go ahead and label that whole thing in number 1. I'm just going to look at numbers 2 and 3. At this point, we should have the unit circle memorized. For quick reference, I've printed one, a very pretty one from the internet, which is, there's quadrant 1, quadrant 2, and you see for all these points there's your degrees, your radians, and then your x and y coordinates. Quadrant 3, quadrant 4. So I'm going to keep going back to this picture as we look at 2 and 3. Number 2 says, consider the point 1/2 and negative square root 3 over 2. At what radian measure does this point occur on the unit circle? And if we've got a multiple choice A, B, C, and D. So we think about the 1/2 and the negative square root 3, 2. This is our x value, which is like our run. This is our y value, which is like our rise. And remember that the smallest one, I'll put S for small, is the 1/2. The medium is the square root 2 over 2, and the large, the longest leg, is square root 3 over 2. So we're looking at going the shortest distance on the run, the shortest distance to the right, and the longest distance down. So if we've got this memorized, we'll remember that, oh, there's 1/2 and negative square root 3 over 2. So we're starting from 0, going that short distance, that short leg to the right, and then that longer leg down for negative square root 3 over 2. Now if you've got to memorize it, you think, oh, there's my coordinates. I've got 300 degrees. They ask for a radian measure, which is 5 pi over 3. See, there's my 5 pi over 3. That's what they're looking for in number 2. Number 3 asks us to consider the unit circle below. There's their unit circle without any of the information. State the coordinates of the labeled points. So when they say coordinates, if I'm looking at just this first quadrant, coordinates would be these x and y pairs. So I gotta list these for each point that's labeled. Point A, look at where, oh, there's A. Now this A is closest to this point right on the x-axis, which is right here at 0 degrees and 360 degrees, 0 radians and 2 pi radians. There's our coordinates. So this is one of those few points without the fractions, 1, 0. Point C, and I'm in the second quadrant, and I'm on this one closest to the x-axis. So there's my second quadrant, closest to the x-axis, which would be this one. So here are my coordinates, negative square root 3 over 2 and 1/2. And remember that that's your longest distance out for the run, shortest distance up for the rise. Negative square root 3 over 2, 1/2. And then, oh, whoops, I had B and C backwards. Sorry, I was looking at C. That should be down here, negative square root 3 over 2, 1/2. Point B is down here in the third quadrant, this point in the middle of the third quadrant. And once you see it's a middle point, we know it's going to be square root 2, square root 2. That's our medium length, and both of them are negative in this third quadrant. So point B is negative square root 2 over 2, negative square root 2 over 2.